हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। राधा नील माधव, राधा नील माधव, राधा नील माधव श्री राधे। गौरनिताय गौरनिताय, गौरनिताय श्री श्री गौरनिताय। प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा, प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद् अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत पुराण की जय। श्री गुरु और श्री गौरांग की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna, we are reading from Canto 2, Chapter 10 and text number 47. Parimanam cha kalasya kalpalakshana vigraham yatha purastad vyakhyasye padmam kalpam athoshruno. Parimanam cha kalasya कल्पलक्षण विग्रहम् यथा पुरस्ताद् व्याख्यास्ये पाद्मं कल्पम् अथो शृणु परिमाणं च कालस्य कल्पलक्षण विग्रहम् यथा पुरस्ताद् व्याख्यास्ये पाद्मं कल्पम् अथो शृणु। परिमाणम measurement च also kalasya of time kalpa a day of brahma lakshana symptoms vigraham form yatha as much as purastat hereafter vyakhyasye shall be explained padmam by the name Padma, Kalpam, the duration of a day, Atho, thus, Shrunu, just here. O king, I shall in due course explain the measurement of time and its gross and subtle features with the specific symptoms of each. But for the present, let me explain unto you the Padma Kalpa. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. The present duration of a kalpa of Brahma is called the Varaha Kalpa or Shveta Varaha Kalpa because the incarnation of the Lord as Varaha took place during the creation of Brahma, who was born on the lotus coming out of the abdomen of Vishnu. Therefore, this Varaha Kalpa is also called Padma Kalpa. And this is testified by the Acharyas like Jiva Goswami as well as Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Persians of the first commentator Swami Sridhara. So there is no contradiction between the Varaha and the Padma Kalpa of Brahma. ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमावों विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। With the blessings of the Lordship Shri Shri Radha Nilamadhav, Shri Shri Kaunitai, Shri Shri Lakshmana Samadev Bhagavan, and all the Acharyas in the Parampara, and Srila Prabhupada, and all the senior Vaishnavas here, and all the assembled devotees, I would like to seek blessings so that we can discuss from Srimad Bhagavatam. This entire episode of so many questions that have been asked by Parikshit Maharaj, and Shukdev Goswami is giving an answer one after another. So in the previous section of this, Shukdev Goswami is explaining about Sarga, and then he's explaining about Visarga. So all this, when we read, many times we may feel it is becoming so technical. And it is becoming quite complex to understand and quite complex to comprehend, and especially all these names also look very complex. Of course, those who have already aware, it may be to some extent we can grasp, but for any beginner or anybody like that, even after those who have studied, still it is quite complex to grasp with our human mind. So I just want to give one instance where there was in Chopati temple, there was one devotee who asked a question. Dhruv Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu, they did tapasya for so long, and especially when during Dhruv Maharaj section, the kind of tapasya that Dhruv Maharaj did, his tapasya power of austerity was so much that the entire universe got choked up. It's mentioned his heat also was released, and it was heating up all other upper planetary systems, and the air, because he held his breath within his body and he was not breathing, and the whole universal air movement also stopped. That's what is mentioned. And finally, they all went to Brahmaji, and Brahmaji went to Vishnu and said that one devotee is meditating on you. If you can please give darshan. So he asked Maharaj one question. Maharaj, how is it that one person is meditating here and the heat is reaching there? Suppose if we are cooking rice, we put fire and then immediately we have to keep a vessel directly on it. Otherwise the heat will not reach another room. But so then how is it possible that he's doing tapasya here but heat is reaching some other planet? And he's blocking his air, but the universal air is getting blocked. So all this question Maharaj, he was trying to ask Maharaj. Maharaj said, absurd question. Some other question. That means Maharaj was not interested in answering this question. And then immediately after that, Radheshyam Prabhu asked one question. He asked, Maharaj, how is it that the time calculation of Brahmaji's life, how does it come to 411 311 trillion years and 40 billion years. How does it come? And then Maharaj immediately he took one pen and he started writing, and then he was trying to explain how there is in one day of Brahma there are 1,000 chaturyugas, and in each chaturyuga what is the duration, like this, and one day of Mannam there are 14 manus, and in each manu there are 71 chaturyugas. Like this Maharaj was giving calculation, but still the count was not coming to 311. Of course, Maharaj is. So after this, immediately Maharaj said, "Okay, you come to my room in the evening. I will give calculation." And Maharaj had made a big calculation uh, of entire calculation of how it comes to 311 trillion and 40 billion years. And Maharaj had written entire calculation. And of course, Radhesham Prabhu was, of course, academically very astute, but at the same time, Maharaj, he just mentioned, Maharaj, sorry, I made made you into a mathematician. Though Maharaj is not so much into technical, but still, Maharaj did all those calculation only for one sole purpose. And then Maharaj gave a very wonderful answer. Then Radheshambra asked, was not my question absurd? Because I also had asked a very technical question, just like that another devotee had asked. Dhruva Maharaj is doing tapasya, how is it reaching? So his was now not my question also absurd. So therefore that Maharaj replied that whatever acharyas emphasize, that's what we should also emphasize. Because acharyas are giving so much, they are spending so much of time, they are spending so many, they are giving each calculations, and they are putting efforts in making us understand. So all acharyas are mentioning it. Maitreya is going to repeat in next third canto, is going to give calculation of atom, paramanu, and ghatika, and so many calculations he is going to give. And not only that, then he is going to give calculation of manvantara, he is going to give calculation of parartha, Brahma's lives, dviparartha. Like this, so many calculations he is going to give. All acharyas are writing calculations, and Prabhupada is also writing. So Maharaj said, whatever acharyas are emphasizing, that's what we should also emphasize. And whatever they skipped, whatever they consider it as not so relevant, we also should not go too much deep into digging out that information which is not relevant. So in that sense, very important when we are following acharyas, when we are following parampara, we should know where to focus on. Otherwise, our time energy goes in that which is not that important. So now, why I said all this, though it is quite complex to understand, but I'm going to explain to some extent. So we all can try understanding as per our understanding, as per our intelligence goes. And if at all we have difficulty in understanding, we can try to ask questions and then we'll discuss. Okay. So now, so he's saying, I will explain later the measurement of time, which takes the form of kalpas. Now, hear from me about Padma Kalpa. He's saying measurement of time, which is just going to come, I'm going to tell later. So where is he going to tell? He's going to tell in third canto. If you see chapter number 11, third canto, he's going to tell that he's going to give calculation of atom time also, and he's going to give calculation of Brahma's time also. So micro time to macro time, everything is going to tell. So we see small insects, they take birth, especially we may at least see light flies, fireflies. All of them, they take birth in the evening, and by the time of night their life is done. So how much time they are living? 100 years. according to their time calculation. And the same thing, Brahma is living. He is living for how long? 100 years according to his calculation. So in that sense, time is very relative. So time, what we perceive now, is 100 years according to human calculation. And same thing, Devatas, when they live, they are also living, but 100 years according to their calculation. So time is relative in that sense. So he's going to say that I'm going to explain the measurement of time in gross and subtle features with the specific symptoms of each. So, but now I'm going to explain you about Padma Kalpa. What is Padma Kalpa? That also we will discuss. Okay, so the measurement of time has a form. So now here it is mentioned in Skanda Purana. There are 30 days of Brahma in a month, and each day has a specific name. And the first day, say, and each day of Brahma is called as Kalpa. Just like we have a day, Brahma has called Kalpa. And he has 30 Kalpas in 1 month in his time period. So what are those 30 days? That also we'll try to see. See, he says the first day of the month is called Shweta Kalpa. And the same thing is also called a Shweta Varaha Kalpa. There is no difference. Shweta Kalpa or Shweta Varaha Kalpa is the same. The second is called as Neela Lohita. The third is, you all can also tell. I will just tell. The third name is, the fourth is Gathantara. The fifth is Raurava. Sixth is, seventh is, eighth, Kandarpa. Ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. So this 15th is full moon of Brahma, it is said. 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, Valli. The 27th is 28th, 29th. So it said in this Kalpa, Shiva is going to destroy Tripura. And the last month is called Pitru Kalpa. And this is the last. So now we are going to end up in a little tough time, because Padma Kalpa is what? Padma Kalpa did not come, which is mentioned. Where is Padma Kalpa? So now Acharyas are going to give commentary, which is not only mentioned in this. In one more shloka also it is going to come. So we will refer to shlokas. So there it is going to say, what is Padma Kalpa? So these kalpas are known as the days of Brahma and have existed in the past and will exist in the future. So the present kalpa is Varaha Kalpa, the first day. So now we are in which kalpa now? That is another question. We are living in Brahma's lifetime of. So now the entire question is, it says Brahmaji's 50 years have passed. First Parardha. So Brahmaji has two spans. Means first 50 years of span is called one Parardha. Second one is Dvi Parardha. So first Parardha is done. So now 50 years is done. So now it is 51st year going on, and first month and first day of Brahmaji. So this is called as Shweta Varaha Kalpa. Because why it is called Shweta Varaha Kalpa? Because in this Kalpa, Shweta Varaha appeared. Varaha Dev. In Shweta Varna appeared. That's why it's called Shweta Varaha Kalpa. In this day of Brahma, how many Chaturyagas have passed? 27 have passed. So now it is 28th Chaturyuga. And see, 28th Chaturyuga, but of which Manvantara? 7th Manvantara. 6 Manvantaras have passed. And seventh one Manvantara which is running, it is called Vaivasvata Manvantara. And so when we hear that Krishna spoke to Vivaswan, so Vaivasvata Manvantara. And in this Manvantara, out of 71 Chaturyugas, 28th Chaturyuga is running. In 28th Chaturyuga, 3 yugas have already passed. And the 4th yuga is running now. So that means, according to some calculations, it is coming to almost 12 o'clock time, noon time of Brahmaji. So it is almost 11:45, it seems. So that's how the calculations of this kalpas is mentioned. So now the Shweta refers to Shweta Varaha Kalpa. The first day of Brahma is called Brahma Kalpa. So now in first Parardha, the first day of Brahma is called as Brahma Kalpa because that is the birthday of Brahma. And Acharyas mention which is this Brahmaji's birthday. It comes in the in Chaitra month. Chaitra month, Brahma Kalpa. That's how it comes. The last and Pratipada of Chaitra month. And the last day of month of last day of the month or Pitru Kalpa at the end of first half of Brahma's life is called Padma Kalpa. Since the planets take the shape of a lotus during that day. So now there are 2-3 acharyas are mentioning in different ways what is Padma Kalpa. So it is going to be, so they are mentioning the last day of the last month of last Parardha. So that means 50th year last day. That is Padma Kalpa. During that time, the planets take the shape of a lotus during that day. That's what is mentioned. So now, a little more we'll try to understand from of this Padma Kalpa. Little more, it is there in third canto. It says, Tasyaiva chante kalpo bhud yam padmam abhichakshate yadharer nabhisarasa asilloka saroruham. Okay. See, this is what it says. The millennium means kalpa, which followed the first Brahma's millennium, known as the Padma Kalpa, because in that millennium the universal lotus flower grew out of the navel reservoir of water of Hari. So now again little confusion is there. Padma Kalpa is referred to here as the second day of Brahma. So after the first days, that is what is mentioned. So now we'll try to understand. So here, the Kalpa at the end of the first half of Brahma's life is called Padma Kalpa because the planets took the form of a lotus, the navel lake of the Lord. Okay. In the next shloka it comes, Ayam tu katita kalpo dvitiyasyapi bharata varaha iti vikyato yatrasit shukaro harihi. O descendant of Bharata, the first millennium in the second half of the life of Brahma is also known as the Varaha millennium because the personality of God had appeared in that millennium as the hog incarnation. So this is in the Dviparardha first day. That is also called as Varaha. Okay. So this verse describes the first day in the 51st year of Brahma. Now second Parardha, 51st year, first day. The Padma Kalpa, the previous day is mentioned. That means 50th year, last day. Is described in verses such as Padmam Kalpam Athoshuno. That's the verse which we discussed, 2:10:47, today's shloka. And the verses after Udaplutam Vishwamidam, 3:8-10, with a description of a lotus in one ocean of water. The appearance of one Brahma with no one else present is described in Vilokya Tatranyad Apashyamanaha. Thus, Brahma did not see Sanaka and others who live for the whole of Brahma's life. So, the word is trying to say that in the previous, after 50 years passed, and now 51st year when Brahmaji got up, because at the end of everyday Brahma's life, annihilation is going to happen. That means whatever was existing, everything is going to get submerged into waters. So when Brahma wakes up next day, so Brahma has got up, and in this day he is not able to see anything. So everything is submerged in waters. So that's why he's saying Brahma did not see Sanaka and others who live. Though they live for entire Brahma's life, still he was not able to see. Because of these verses, some have another explanation of Padma Kalpa. So now what is this Padma Kalpa? Because that's what came in today's shloka. We'll try to a little more understand. And then they say that Mahaloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka and Satyaloka, which remain without being destroyed until the end of second half of his life. That means even after Brahmaji's first parartha is finished, still these lokas are going to remain. They are going to remain existing. They get covered with water at the end of first half of Brahma's life. Thus, no planets or great sages are not visible. Okay. Those who live till the end of Brahma's life on those planets enter into Narayan along with Brahma during the night at the end of first half of Brahma's life. They say that the first day in the second half of Brahma's life, when he appears on a lotus and sees no planets and no sages, is called Shvetavaraha Kalpa or Padma Kalpa. So now it is said Shvetavaraha or Padma Kalpa. So the confusion is still there. But what is it trying to say? That those who live till the end of Brahma's life on those planets, they enter into Narayan at the night. Okay. Now next is, as well, and in the next chapter it will be explained that Shanaka, Marichi and others appeared from Brahma. This is similar to Brahma Kalpa. That day cannot be called Brahma Kalpa since it comes after that. Okay, this much this is about Brahma Kalpa. Now we will go to Padma Kalpa. Now here it is. In the verse 36 of this chapter, describing Padma Kalpa, at the end of the first day is mentioned. Ante is mentioned. That means at the end. Then Padma Kalpa is going to start. That means thus the second day after the Brahma's birth could be called as Padma Kalpa. So first day, second day. So what? So Ayamtu in this verse then means that the Padma Kalpa is also named for the Varaha Kalpa. The first day in the second half of Brahma's life, it is called Varaha Kalpa because Varaha avatar appeared during that Kalpa. The word Api after Dvitiyasya indicates that even the first Kalpa of Brahma's life is called Padma Kalpa. This is the explanation of some devotees. Thus, Padma Kalpa can refer to the first or second day of Brahma's life, the last day of 50th year of his life, or the first day of his 51st year. So Padma Kalpa can refer to 4 days, which is mentioned. So it can refer to the first day or second day of Brahma's life. That means 50th year also. That means first parartha. Or it can refer to 50th year last day also. Or it can refer to 51st year first day also. So yes. But why? So how it can be true? See, the definition of Padma Kalpa is what? The universal arrangement should be in a lotus format. So it can happen in any of these days, according to Acharyas. So that can be called as Padma Kalpa. Because it is not just the day of Brahma, but because it is a universal arrangement, the planet's arrangement, which is happening on that day. So it is called as Padma Kalpa. So of course, we understand at the end of reading, it is too difficult to understand. So at least if we can understand that how much complex is this universal creation. And if we can, because it is said, even in the 5th canto of cosmology, Shukdev Goswami himself is saying Even Brahmaji's realization at the end of even though he's doing so much of creation, Brahmaji's realization is that throughout my lifetime, I will not be able to understand how creation is happening. How the entire universal cosmic arrangement is there. Even I am not able to understand with my four heads. If that is Brahmaji's realization, then what can we say with our tiny brains, and that too we live for such a small time span, and in Kali Yuga, and that too so much of distraction, distracted mind, and that too we read one purport and after some time we may want to get distracted into something else. So we don't have that much of attention span and that much of complexity of brain to understand, and such a short lifespan, and and that too our vision is also so limited, and we don't understand Sanskrit also. So how much can we understand? So but at least we should understand that I'm not able to understand it, so that with that humble understanding we can try to understand, and Krishna is pleased, and if Krishna blesses, then we may understand. And even if we do not understand, chanting Hare Krishna is good enough, because ultimately, even if we do not understand all this, but if we can develop a little love for Supreme Lord and Vaishnavas, and love for the holy name, because that's what is the ultimate. Uh, so this is my tiny understanding, and if other devotees can answer, or they can share their realizations. Yes, our lotus. That day is Padma Kalpa. Yes. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्तों की जय।